All right, everybody, we are on part 3 of 4 of the 1.6 content showcase. So far, we've talked about quality of life and all the new items, crops. And now we are on to the events, festivals, quest lines. So all we have left after this is the balance changes. We're gonna get right into this one. And as always, if you're new here, make sure to hit subscribe so you can follow along with all the 1.6 content. Let's start with the Desert Festival. That is probably the biggest and most thorough festival we have, and it happens to be in spring, so this is a great place to start. You can probably unlock this for year 2, but I want to do some testing. I tried to look it up really late last night if anybody's ever got the Joja bundle or the Community Center bundle completed, which is about 40 to 43,000 gold by year 1, spring 15, 16, 17, so that you can attend the festival. I just don't think so, but I guarantee you there's going to be people that are now going to try. So anyways, let's just assume you get this in year 2. It opens up a lot of activities for you to do. Once this festival does appear on the calendar, you can actually go at any time starting at 6 a.m. You will just drive yourself if you're there before Pam, but I think she attends the festival, so I don't think she drives at all during this time. So basically, you can go whenever you want, just buy a ticket and get over there. Most of the booths don't open till about 10 or 11 a.m. However, there are a few things that you can get an early start to, especially the mining challenges, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. We also have a new type of currency specifically for this festival, and that is Calico eggs. These are collected through most of the activities that you can do at the festival, as well as you can buy some from some of the shops. And they can only be used here, so get as many as you can and spend as many as you can. Also, side note, you can't save your eggs from year to year, so again, spend them all. Let's get into the activities. So we have the races, which you can bet on one of 3 contestants, and if you are correct, you can talk to the announcer after and collect 20 Calico eggs. You can also talk to a suspicious man that is located on the west side of the desert, right outside the Oasis shop doors, and you can pay him 1 Calico egg to basically eliminate one of the contestants of your choosing from winning the race. So it just helps you fix the race and increase your odds. So these races run every hour. All of the NPCs have an opportunity to run the Calico merchant tent. So there's 2 tents a day, 2 different NPCs that can run these booths. They sell a wide range of stuff. On the Stardew wiki, you can get a full list of their stock. One notable one though is Pierre. He actually sells you Calico eggs for a premium price, of course. And then Alex, after you've unlocked the combat mastery, he will sell the magic hair gel, which basically turns whatever hair you're wearing into a prismatic hair. So it will rotate through all the colors. So very cool. Emily and Sandy will do a style consult every day. So basically what that means is you get a new outfit every day of the festival. And not to worry, the things that you're currently wearing will just go into your inventory. So it's a good way to collect some of the cosmetics. We also have a chef, and he will make you a unique dish every single day. And the buffs will last almost half the day. So you can actually go back and get another one. But these buffs actually stack with regular food and drinks. So it's really useful for the mining challenges. And here is a chart that shows you exactly what you can create and what buffs that you can get from it. There's also a cactus salesman, and you can get 1 cactus every festival. So once between any of the 3 days, visit this guy and he will make you a lot of different combinations of cactuses. Again, it's a cool thing that you can collect. By the way, if you're enjoying the video, please give it a like so that other 1.6 players can find this video, and thank you so much for that. We also have the shrouded figure. If you ever want to go back to the farm, you can pay them 250 gold, but most likely you should just take the bus because you've already paid for the ticket, and that is my preference, unless you're really running out of time or something. Traveling cart also makes an appearance with the standard cart, and there will be an umbrella over the pig's head. The selection is the usual items sold with new re-randomized stock each of the 3 days. So it might be helpful if you're still trying to complete the community center because you might get some unique items, and otherwise the shop opens at 12 p.m. and is open for the rest of the day. We can't forget about the Mystic Seller that trades eggs for goods, and there is a large variety of what you can buy. We also have Willie's fishing quest. Once a day, there will be a fishing related quest for the pond, and it will award you calico eggs when you complete it. And there is one quest that requires you to get a golden bobber. Just so you know, that happens the first time you open up a treasure chest that you fish up in the pond. We also have a scholar, and they will ask you some Stardew trivia, and it's a series of 4 questions. If you're correct, you get a 50 calico egg reward. You can play once per day. As a sort of little hack, there is a question that asks how many steps have you taken, and the answer will always be the middle option. The lower option is half the steps you've taken so far, and the higher option is 2 times your steps. So it's just a cool way to track how many steps you've taken in the valley. All right, probably the most intensive activity at the desert festival is the Skull Cavern. So each day, Marlin will offer you one of 2 tasks that you can complete in the Skull Cavern. They will each give you a specific amount of calico eggs, and then when you're down in the dungeon, you can talk to these calico statues, and they will give you, essentially activating these statues increases your egg rating, and then it will come with a neutral effect, a buff, or something to make the Skull Cavern a little bit harder. So it honestly makes the runs so much fun. One thing to note is you might have noticed Harvey's medical station, and that is because if you die to enemies in the mines, then at least you are still in Calico Desert versus all the way back in Pelican Town. Instead of losing items or gold, you'll actually lose 20% of your calico eggs in your inventory. So you can submit your egg rating once per day to Gil, and that will include how many calico eggs you have, food, drinks, and other items. Here is a chart to show you what you can win, and the prizes just obviously go up in value the higher the egg rating. So try to get to 55. I bet you it's really hard based on what the prize is of 500 calico eggs and a magic rock candy, but it's probably possible. Before we end talking about spring, let's talk about another event that happens in spring and in summer and in fall and in winter. There is a bookseller, and it comes to the town twice a month. It'll never come on festival days, but it's 2 random days every single month. And Marcelo, who is the hot air balloon operator from Harvey's 10 Hard event, he sells a bunch of different books. So this adds a completely new mechanic into the game, and I'm going to do a deep dive on all the books because I think this is so interesting. But long story short is you will get a bunch of choices to purchase every day. You can also collect the books and trade them in for some different and mostly useful items. Some of the books grant you experience in different skills or a little bit in all skills, and then some grant you a completely new perk like more movement speed, being able to see the price of the goods that you have and how much they'll sell for. I think you'll really notice the impact of the bookseller in your next playthrough starting from the beginning, because experience boosts early are always a big help. Moving into summer, first up we have the Green Rain event. This is unlike anything we've ever seen before. It happens one time in summer, and you will know when it's coming because when you turn on the TV to check the weather, which most players do every day, the announcer will say something very cryptic and there will be a green graphic on the screen like this. The next day it will be raining green all day, and there is a lot to do. Your fruit tree saplings that are planted outside the greenhouse have a chance to fully grow on the first day. There are fiddlehead stalks that have grown around the valley. When you chop them down, you get a random amount of fiddlehead ferns. You get all these moss trees, so you can collect mossy tree seeds, wood, fiber, and there is a ton of moss. There's even bushes that will drop moss on their own when cut down. Most of the stuff does disappear after the day is done though. The first time you experience it, you are going to get some really funny dialogue, and everybody is kind of freaking out more or less about it. And then in future years, everybody realizes that the rain is just really good for the plants and trees around the valley, and then everybody's a little bit more relaxed. So I recommend spending some time running around talking to everyone on that first event because it is really interesting. All right, we also have a new mini festival. So it's basically a fishing tournament. This one is a Rainbow Trout Derby. It happens on the 20th and 21st of summer. It is an all-day festival, so you can start fishing at 6:10 a.m. and it ends on 2 a.m. both days. This one takes place in Cindersap Forest near the river by Marnie's house. The goal is to catch rainbow trout, and every time you do catch a rainbow trout, there is a chance that it will give you a golden tag. These golden tags can be exchanged for prizes. Basically, there's about a 1 in 3 chance to get a golden tag, and the chance is multiplied by the number of rainbow trouts caught. So if you use the challenge bait and get a perfect catch and get 3 fish, there's a 99% chance that you will get a tag with those 3 rainbow trout. You can also catch rainbow trout in any weather and any time of the day during this festival. Fall is the season that received the least amount of changes, and there's not that much new for fall, so I will take this time to talk about the Racoon quest line. There is a big tree in Cindersap Forest, and after you complete the greenhouse, each night will have a 10% chance to trigger a big windstorm, which starts this quest line. It will involve you repairing the tree stump, which, by the way, takes 100 hardwood, and then a raccoon will move in and ask for some random things, including smoked fish or dehydrated goods, utilizing the 1.6 new machines. And then once you complete enough quests, the raccoon's wife will move in and she will start trading with you some goods. So this is a way to get some of the new seasonal crops and some other items, and her shop keeps expanding as you keep completing quests for the raccoon. So the reason I'm talking about this in fall is because a lot of times people unlock the greenhouse in the fall. And so that is likely when you will start to see this quest line, is the first fall or maybe about the first winter. That brings us to winter. We have Squid Fest, which is a fishing festival that is similar to the Trout Derby, but the way the prizing works is different. So in the Trout Derby, while you're trying to collect gold tags and trade them for prizes, you have a daily target of up to 8 squid that when you catch them, you can exchange those in for each tiers of prizes. So the squids reset after each day. So if you want to get the top tier iridium prizes, you have to catch 8 on the 12th of winter or the 13th of winter. There's some pretty cool stuff that you can trade in for, and I like that both of the fishing tournaments work a little bit differently, because then it's not like playing the same thing 2 times every year. So I really like that. Let's talk really quickly about what is changing for the existing festivals. There is now a couple of different layouts and dialogues for each festival. What I mean by that is every other year, where people are standing, who they're talking to, what they say to you will change. So it makes it a little less monotonous to attend the festivals every single year. And at least the first 2 to 4 years, the dialogue will seem somewhat fresh until you get used to that. And then because you do get friendship points for talking to people at the festivals, maybe it incentivizes you to attend a little more often. As well, with the 2 festivals that have mini games, which are the Egg Festival and the Fishing Fest in the winter, instead of winning a generic prize after the first year, you will actually win a prize ticket. So those of course can be used in Mayor Lewis's house, and to me, that is enough to make me go to the Egg Festival and the Ice Fishing Festival every single year, because those prize tickets do come in handy and there's some useful things that you can get. So that is all for the festivals and events. I really think it is going to enhance those next playthroughs. And lastly, before we get into the specific content for 1.6 and start doing some deep dives, we have the balance changes. So stay tuned for that, because that is coming as soon as possible.